workload of your IT team can be relaxed or distributed. Now, these are some points in the favor of that. One, two, three, four, five. I think that are more than enough for that. In the against part, now you can write this that the time taken for full implementation is very long. The full features of the system cannot be released immediately. As in pilot implementation, after one segment, they move on to the other. After second, they move on to the third. And just in case if they want to introduce a new feature, then they have to go again into that one by one. So this might takes a lot of time for them. You can also write that the cost for the full implementation is also very high, and you can also write that IT servicemen or technicians might have to move from one place to another again and again to fix problems and ensure consistency. So this might create a lot of problems for that. So one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four. Last point. These are more than enough for the 8 marks question. Motivation of IT team may be decreased over time. That's it. This is how you need to respond if you have a question like this in your evaluation. And right in this question, you were asked to analyze. So there's a difference into them. Let's move on to the next part. That is that describe the benefits to businesses of employer using instant message to communicate with other employees for business purpose. And this is for 6 marks. So if they have this instant message option, that means that it is quite simple and no expertise required to set up or use. Because instant messaging is just like sending a message. Another advantage could be that it could be accessed at any time, anywhere, 24/7. It is also accessible from almost all computers and networks. You can also write that it provides real-time communication. Real-time communication between employees and business is 1, 2, 3, 4. You can also write that it can be or maybe cheaper than using telephone systems for long distance communication. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the last point can also be used for group chats. This is done for 6 marks. Now, question number 10. A small company is considering installing a mail server to manage email for its 5 employees. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages to the company of using its own mail server. And this is for 6 marks. So right here, you need to discuss. And so for discussing, you are going to write in detail. The first point is going to be like the definition of that, or to a valid description of what is asked into the question. So I'm going to write here that basically what is a mail server? A mail server is a dedicated server used for sending and receiving emails. Now, just after this definition, you can carry on with your advantages and your disadvantages. So advantages can be company can provide each employee with its own email. Company can distribute email among departments. Like for example, uh, sales at the rate companyname.com, support at the rate company.com, and you do not have to pay for the additional cost of that. It is included into that. You can also write that company can control and manage your email policies as well. You can also write that company can archive important emails as well. In terms of disadvantages, you can write here that your mail servers may require technical expertise, or you can also write that it may require maintenance. You can also write that mail servers are quite complex to set up, or there can be troubleshooting difficulties into that. You can also write that cost of hardware or setting up email server that may include its license as well can be costly. And the last point, sometimes it can be quite difficult to configure a email server. So this is it for this question as well. Question number 10. And now the last question for this paper is that technicians improve system by carrying out maintenance. Corrective maintenance modifies software to correct problems that have been identified in error reports from user. Identify and describe two other types of software maintenance carried out by technicians. So, in terms of maintenance, I have discussed with you total of four types of maintenance. One is an adaptive maintenance, second is corrective, that is included into the question. The third one is preventive, and the fourth one is perfective maintenance. Let me write it down here for you as well. The first one is your adaptive maintenance. The second one is your preventative maintenance. The third one is your perfective maintenance, and the fourth one that is already mentioned into the question, that is your corrective maintenance. Now, the question says that apart from the corrective maintenance, you need to describe and define two of them. So one can be your adaptive maintenance. The second one can be your, let's write your perfective maintenance. And this question is for 6 marks. So in terms of adaptive maintenance, you can write that it modifies and update software after delivery to user. That means that your software is working in real time and then you have to make the changes onto that. You can also write that you have to adapt it in response to updated technology. Or you can also write in response to, you need to adapt that by having a user's requirement in response to change to up-to-date technology. You can also write that you also might be requested to in response to change in either industry or business. In perfective maintenance, what you are actually doing is that you are enhancing and improving the performance of your software. As the name says perfective, that means that you are making it even more perfective. You are increasing the user experience or user usability, or you are making it quite easy for the user, and you are also increasing the reliability of that. So finally, we are done with this paper as well.